Let's talk about the All Black squad for the Rugby Championship. The Lions Test series is done, and attention now moves to the Southern Hemisphere Giants going head to head. And I cannot wait for this. Well, that's why I'm sat where I'm sat right now in Oliver Reginald Tambo Airport in Johannesburg. Arrived yesterday and flying down to Durban shortly to go and get a bit of sunshine on the East Coast. It's actually after 3 weeks of, look at that, blue skies. Get in. After 3 weeks of rain, I loved Australia, I really did, but the weather was absolutely atrocious. So I will go back another time when it's not their wet and wild rainy season, but it's winter here in South Africa and still absolutely beautiful. So yeah, and when you look at this New Zealand squad, I'm sure in the back of every All Black fan's mind is those matches against the Boks when they come to New Zealand to try and take down that 30-year unbeaten record at Eden Park. That is going to be something else. This New Zealand squad is serious. I really like what Scott Robertson is up to in year 2 of his reign. He was quite cautious and played it quite safe in year 1. And I was expecting to see more turnover of players. I was expecting to see kind of more, slightly more bold decisions. The bold decisions are coming out now. They were in that for that series against France where some new players were blooded, and now there's more of that as well. For the Argentina games, it's going to be interesting because there are quite a few injuries. So as you can see from the New Zealand squad, there are 6 players that are in as injury cover, and that balance between using the Argentina matches to kind of get a bit of mojo to going. And get the form, but also not wanting your key men to get injured because they do have a few injuries, and it is about winning the Rugby Championship. And as much as they'll probably talk about the cliches, Eden Park is just another game. Come on, it's not just another game, is it? It's the biggest rugby match of 2025, no question. And that's even in a year where there's a British and Irish Lions series. New Zealand hosting South Africa, the 2 best teams, the 2 most decorated teams, and that 30-year record on the line. I don't think you can hype up that game too much. So I think there's probably a lot of All Black fans, and tell me what you think in the chat down below, who will just be hoping, please come through unscathed. Yeah, because there's quite a few injuries at the minute. What are the headlines looking at this squad? Again, as I say, tell me what you think in the chat down below. By the way, I'll have another episode going up today on the Egg Chasers IRL channel. And the next video going up is my game day in Melbourne. And in fact, let me give you a little clip now of some of the shenanigans that went on, which I will be covering there. There you go. And that's piqued your interest, hasn't it? So yeah, this other channel is basically because I'm coming to the other side of the world. I've been in Australia. I'm out in South Africa now, and I want to share the journey, because that rugby is about the 80 minutes on the game, but it's a whole way of life, isn't it? Rugby is a way of life, and that's what I want to share on my other channel. So I would love your support there. Go and hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and get stuck in there. But what was I saying? Yeah, the headlines. Rieko Ioane listed as outsides. I haven't seen that before either. Is that a new one? Or is that just how they're referred to in New Zealand? They're outsides for the outside backs. Rieko Ioane listed as outsides. That's maybe the biggest indication yet that the surest sign that Razor is heading in the right direction, because All Black fans have been saying for a long time now, get Rieko on the wing. I still think he will occasionally be used in the centre. I think depth at centre is one of the weakest areas. And for that reason, tell me what you think about this. Geordie Barrett is the most important player in that All Black squad, because when you look at the squad, Geordie Barrett dropping out leaves the biggest hole. They've actually got good depth across the board. Geordie Barrett is almost irreplaceable in that team. Yeah, Anton Linnett-Brown, he's got 70 odd caps now. He's a fantastic player. But the drop-off from Geordie Barrett is maybe bigger than for any other player. What other headlines are there? There's wheels in this squad, absolute wheels. I'll go through the squad with some of my thoughts, but there is just pace. raw express pace, which Argentina have got, South Africa have got, and Australia have got. I'm so looking forward to watching this year's Rugby Championship, and it's one of the things when I reflect on the Lions series, the wings were disappointing, and in that British and Irish Lions squad there was no one with an absolute raw electric pace, the sort of player that when they get the ball, everyone in the stands gets on their feet. When Sevu Reece, when Imoni Narawa, when Caleb Clark, when Will Jordan, when Rico Ioane get the ball, people are on their feet, and that's just really cool. And in the forwards, Razor has shown again he is willing to make tough decisions selection-wise. Simon Parker called up in the Lucies, big old frame on him. He says his hero is Jerome Kano. Sorry, I brain farted his name then. He said his hero and his icon and the person he tries to model his game on is Jerome Kano. If he's even a fraction as good as Jerome Kano, then the ABs have got someone very, very good. On the flip side, Razor is not afraid to make difficult calls and cut players. Christian Leo Willie, he was in, now he's out. Dalton Papali'i, not in. He's on the outside again. Ethan Blackadder, if he can get a run of games together, I still think Ethan Blackadder has got a big role to play with the ABs. Fitness has just been his Achilles heel. I don't know whether his Achilles heel has been his Achilles heel at any point, but he certainly had his fair share of injuries. Maybe Achilles heel is one of them, but he's so good. And I do look, when you look at the list of Lucies, I'll go through each position like I say. I do think there's a kind of Ethan Blackadder, maybe Dalton Papali'i, maybe Christian Leo Willie. There's kind of a big old bosher. There's a hole for one of those players there. But hey, let's see how Simon Parker gets on. So going through the squad, so there's Simon Parker and there's two more fresh faces among the 6 players that are covering injuries that have been named. Going through the squad then, front row, when everyone is fit, that is a proper front row. And the age profile of it looks awesome. I cannot wait for the day when they're all fit and available and Pasilio Tosi and the Mighty Williams and Samisoni Takuyaho, when they all come off the bench, 16, 17, 18, it's like over 400 kilos of prime New Zealand beef coming off. That is awesome. And then Lomax and Tamaiti Williams are not fit at the moment. They'll want to be fit and available for that Eden Park test. But Mafaleo was an interesting call, being as he's, as far as I'm aware, he's like sort of second/third choice at the Canes, but he's in. He's been involved in squads before under other coaches, so he's obviously got something about him. Locks, Fabian Holland just kind of completely changes the complexion of that New Zealand lock area. It looked to me like a weak link area, but him coming in has really strengthened that one up, and it also means that Tupu Vai can play 6, and I think that is the intention for Tupu Vai, listed as a lock but to play a bit of 6, and you get that from the fact that Lord is listed as an injury replacement for Luke Jacobson, who is a 6. And so the fact that a second row is covering Luke Jacobson says to me that Tupu Vai is still very much going to be between the 5 and 6 jersey. And I have to say, Tupu Vai, Ardi Savia, Wallace Satiti looks to me like an absolutely dynamite back row that could tear it up for years to come. So yeah, Lucy's, they're in a good place. Although, like I say, I think the Tupu Vai at 6 could be the answer to the balance in the back row, because it's kind of lots of shorter, explosive, pure power forwards like Karifi, along with Lakai and Savia and Satiti as well. So good to see Satiti back. As for the backs, do you know what? I'm really pleased for Finlay Christie. He gets so much stick. And, you know, as an Englishman, I know what it's like to watch some genuinely good rugby players just kind of, for whatever reason, face criticism by fans. And I think Finlay Christie's one of those guys. He's a good scrum half. So I'm pleased he's back in the squad. And with a couple of injuries there, it's good. And alongside him, you've got Kyle Preston. That's a bit of a story. Former roofer. He scored that hat-trick in round 1 of Super Rugby and then followed it up. I think it was 4 tries in the first 2 rounds of Super Rugby. He's had a brilliant year, and now he's in the All Black squad as injury cover for the time being. Fly half, you got Bodie and DMAC, lovely. Midfielders, a bit fresher face. Like I say, I think Geordie Barrett might be the most important member of the All Black squad because the drop-off is big and his class is outstanding. And Leroy Carter now got a foot in the door as an injury replacement too. And outsides, as I said, express pace. It's good. I like the look of this All Black squad a lot. Is it enough to win the Rugby Championship? I think it can. And the fact they're on home soil gives them an advantage for sure against South Africa. That game, like I say, is going to be incredible. And I'm going to be watching the Boks, building up to it. Obviously, they will have Eden Park on their mind. So the game's against Australia. Obviously, they want to win on home soil, but they want to win and prepare for, the 6th of September. And I will be here in South Africa, keeping a very close eye on the men in green and gold. But I better... What's the time now? Ooh. Yeah, time to go and get to my departure gate. I just want to say one thing though. Since I've been in South Africa, 2 things I've really missed that I'd forgotten about. Number 1, an African sunset. That orangey red hue you get on the horizon is like nowhere else. I love it. And the second thing is how blooming friendly everyone is. Like even my kids, because the family are here, they have commented on it a number of times like, oh my God, everyone's so friendly and cannot help you enough, whether it was in the airport hotel, in the airport itself. And I mean, that's just how it should be, isn't it? But I think the UK could learn a thing or two, to be honest. But anyway, I'm at the very start of my African journey. Go to see more of my Australian journey on the Egg Chasers IRL channel. I'll leave a link in the description and I will see you on the next one. Let me know what you think in the chat down below.